Good afternoon, my revered Imo people, my good people of Imo State. First, let me thank and greet His Excellency, our Governor, and my brother, Senator Hope Uzodimma Onwa Oyoko, and greet my elder brother, Professor Morris Iwu. I would like to use the opportunity to also extend our greetings to Salio Stan and Emeka Ibe, and all who have put this together. I am really delighted to be offered the opportunity to listen in and be guided by my co-patriots who have taken up this idea to furnish for the state an assemblage of ideas platform. My understanding of what is going on is we realize that Imo is full of intellectuals. Many of us over the years have seen bright minds come out from Imo State. Some of them are the brightest in the world. How to articulate all their views and make it, concretize it into something that is profitable and useful and then scalable is a unique challenge, considering that in the banking sector, I'm thinking Imo State probably has produced maybe more than any other state, more bank MDs from, you can think of, executive directors in almost every bank, and yet is still dependent on every other person. We have industrialists of every type, but all the industries in Imo are practically closed. From the days of Ferdinand and Nagara to all those, Imo has had consistent people who have tried to develop it. And if you have a forum like this where we are challenged to pull resources and ideas together and make them workable, then that would be terrific. So I commend the thought process that has yielded this platform. And to make it even more auspicious is that COVID-19 has forced us into a webinar such that you do not need to travel a lot to be able to share with your brothers, because it would have been difficult at most times to convene some of these conferences. Some people may not come and some may not be able to attend or have the time. So this also is a challenge, but now has been turned into an opportunity. So I welcome the idea of being able to hear and be directed. We at the Ministry of Education understand that our mandate is to develop for the nation adequate manpower. We take everybody from cradle and probably to grave, because even when you're a professor at like Prof is still learning and teaching. So the Ministry of Education spans your lifetime and be able to afford you the opportunity to play. We sensed this opportunity while I was still at TED Fund when we decided that it was important to advance Imo State University a 3 billion naira grant, which I felt at the time was our due, but I wanted them to see what they could do with it. The governor has instituted a visitation panel to the university. I'm sure he will sort what they have been able to do that. For the polytechnic sector, we also instituted a 1 billion grant to them at the same time, where they're not just peculiar or specific to Imo State, but we try to use our presence at the table at the time to make sure that Imo State got what we will consider a lion's share of what the funding facilities are. It is up to the people who use it to then determine how they grow. Imo State has a myriad of opportunities, but it has to be situated within its own constraints. Imo is the smallest landlocked state because the 35th and 36th states both are littoral, and therefore its challenges are unique. And to identify its own opportunities and then be able to leverage those also very, very important. Imo is challenged because it sits at the tributary that enters the Niger Delta. Therefore, denudation and erosion are key factors. And I'm sure you've seen the IEDI landscape as an example of what will happen or what is happening to us because we have refused to control how big men build their houses and how you must harvest water. And I will come back to the governor with how he will need to talk to Imo people to harvest water so that we don't lose the land itself before we start talking about it. But Imo has things that are unique to it. We're the best palm belt and sitting on top of one of the best vegetations that there is. And if we want to grow around the biodiesel industry, around our palm plantations and what can be done with the palms. If you talk to Chinebebo and the group from Malaysia with Chaliogu, they've done, these IEDI people, they've done quite a lot of work from what I hear. You guys are doing a lot of it. Solar power energy, there are so many. But more importantly is if you look at the sector where we are headed to, technology. We at the Ministry of Education, we just decided that it is important to step up science and technical education, and we have now recently sent for a new federal government college to be built in Olo, because there is one in federal government college in Owerri, and there's a federal government college in Okigwe, but we're going to go ahead and build a new science and technology college at Olo, and the governor has graciously granted us land already, and the ministry is one of the first to be built in the country at the moment, and the governor is doing everything he can to get us running at speed. There are so many opportunities that will happen and should happen, and if we all cooperate and be guided together, because like you pointed out, nobody, in spite of how much may be available to you, could and possibly will know everything. The opportunity to be a technological giant, to create a silver valley in Imo State, to become the Silicon Valley of Africa, is actually something that we are pre-positioned to do, with Leo Stan Eke leading some of the best brands. We just lost our sister, Mrs. who has CPN, and all those who in the field there. We have the brains. It's just to put some of our infrastructure together and use the opportunities we have right now in the Ministry of Education to drive that. We can become what we agreed that we want to become. But I think we should bring our thoughts together and focus them rightly. And what the governor has suggested, putting an investment group over us over this COVID period, sits well with everything that we think. And as you have offered to partner, I'm also going to offer to be at your service. In any way I am pushed or directed, I am humbly at your service. I welcome all Imo citizens and thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister for Education. Thank you so much for your offer of partnership. Most importantly, what you said, when you are at the table, you partake in decision making at the table. When you were in ETF, you made your presence felt. The 3 billion naira for the Imo State University and the 1 billion naira for the Polytechnic. That's fantastic. Congratulations and thank you very much for that. We also know that you can do a lot more, because just like I said, Imo State is endowed with some of the best intellectuals and educationists. And everything is right now under your care. So we continue to pray. We are also guaranteeing you our 100% support and partnership, especially at the educational sector, to move Imo State forward. Thank you very much, and continue to do what you're doing. And Imo and God will bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Now,